Hi friends, welcome to Sri Chaitanya. This is Uma Shankar. Today, through this video, I would like to give some facts regarding the JEE Advanced 2021. Before going to the facts of JEE Advanced 2021, because on July 3rd, advanced examination is going to be conducted this year. But hardly in our hand, there are a 2.5 months time is there, because if I have calculated the time after this video to July, we have May and June, hardly 2 months and half month, that is in April. Total 2.5 months time is there. To strengthening your preparation for JEE Advanced 2021, basically the major challenging part is we have to know about the paper standard, because this time this examination JEE Advanced, the prestigious examination, is conducted by IIT Kharagpur, that is the organizing institute is IIT Kharagpur, and the same institution has conducted in 2006 IIT JEE examination and in 2004 JEE Advanced examination. My friends, here I would like to share some of the important things with you through this concept. The things are, till 2005, the story of IIT is different. The way they are conducting the examination was completely different. Up to 2005, mainly from 2000, we can divide the entire saga of IIT joint entrance examination into three parts. One is up to 1999, and the second one is 2002, 2005, and 2006 onwards. Till 1999, the examination they conducted in the analytical or conventional type of examination, and they are conducting the examination under 2 days, mathematics, physics in 1 day, and the next day is chemistry or something, some other subject, and completely descriptive form of the examination. 3-hour examination they are conducting, maths 3 hour, physics 3 hour, chemistry 3 hour, like that until 1999. They were conducted the IIT examination under the name of IIT JEE, IIT Joint Entrance Examination. But from 2000 to 2005, actually they conducted the examination in 2 rounds. Okay, they conducted the examination and in 2 rounds. The first round is called screening, and it is fully objective. And those who cleared, it will the screening test. Then the students who cleared the screening test only appear are allowed to take the second round, which is the main round. So IIT JEE was conducted under 2 phases. One is screening, and another one is main. Screening is completely objective, whereas main is descriptive, conventional type. So actually, if only for screening point of view only, they have introduced objective orientation, and because through that objective orientation, they conducted the only screening test, and the main round is conventional type, and the final selection was made only by the performance or in the performance of second round only, that is those who performed well in mains, that is in conventional part. Based on that result only they are announcing the ranks. In effect, this means that screening sometimes screening was done efficiently with objective type questions, but the ultimate selection was based only on conventional type of questions. So first time, to encourage the students even from the remote areas, from 2006 onwards, the entire IIT examination was completely changed into a single objective type paper. So they introduced IIT JEE examination as an objective type paper in each subject from 2006 onwards. So in 2006, the same IIT Kharagpur, they conducted the examination, and again the same institution was conducted in 2014. Again, the same institution was conducted the examination, where in 2014, in 2014, again they conducted the examination in 2014. And another important point is until 2012, the name of this examination is a IIT JEE. So from 2013 onwards, they have changed the name into JEE Advanced. So once after changing the name of IIT JEE into JEE Advanced, again in 2014, IIT Kharagpur was conducted this examination. The same IIT Kharagpur now is going to conduct 2021 advanced examination also. The same IIT Kharagpur is now going to conduct the same JEE advanced examination in 2021. So here what I want to share with you is that if you have observed the pattern and standards of the questions given in 2006 as well as 2014 conducted by IIT Kharagpur, thereby we will get some idea. Okay, from these two papers, mainly they are focusing on these particular areas. So the same thing may come or may appear even for 2021 advanced examination also. In that aspect only, here I am today through this video sharing some of the topmost important points regarding the JEE advanced examination 2021. And my friends, actually from 2018 May 20th onwards, they have changed this JEE advanced examination as computer-based test, CBT. Computer-based test. So from 2018 onwards, the examination pattern is in objective, and moreover, it has changed into computer-based test. The same thing will going to be conducted in 2021 advanced examination also. So my friends, yeah, actually in 2006, nobody knows what is the question paper, actual question paper, because they have not given the paper by hand to the students. So by the memory of the students only, here we are giving all this information by collecting all the data from our students. Only here I am sharing this information. Actually, each and every paper, the structure of the question paper is like this. They have given 12 questions in 2006. They have given the paper like this. In that 5 sections are there. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, Section 4, Section 5. In Section 1, there are 12 questions. All are single answer type. Each carries 3 marks. And for wrongly attempted, -1 mark is there. Total mark was 36. In Section 2, there were 8 questions. All are 1 or more than 1 answer type. Each carries 5 marks. For wrongly attempted, 1 mark is there. Total mark is 40. And again, 4 comprehensions, paragraphs are given. Each comprehension contains 3 questions. And each question carries 5 marks. And for wrongly attempted question, 2 marks, 2 negative marks are there. And total marks were allotted as 60. After that, 4 questions were given in Section 4 in the form of multiple matching. Multiple matching in the sense, one option may in column 1, column 2 columns will be there. For column 1, for first option, answers may be either any one of, at least one of the contents given in column 2. Like that, multiple matching is there. Each question carries 6 marks, and for wrongly attempted, no negative mark is there. Total is 24. And fourth one is integer type. Essay type means, in other words, integer type. That is fifth section. 6 questions were given. No negative mark is there. Total 24. So mathematics examination was conducted for 184. Similarly, physics 184. Chemistry again 184. See, these are the marks. So 184 for mathematics and 184 for physics and 184 for chemistry. Total what? 552. So the examination in 2006, it was conducted for 552. And each paper, they have given a duration as 2 hours. Mathematics 2 hours, maths 2 hours, physics 2 hours. There is no 2 paper session. They are conducting the examination from 9 to 12, again 2 to 1 to 3, and again 3 to 5, something like that. Mathematics 2 hour, physics 2 hour, and chemistry 2 hour. All are objective. First time they have introduced objective pattern examination in 2006 only, that too by what? By IIT Kharagpur. And the same institution is now going to conduct 2021 IIT JEE advanced examination also. That's why that curiosity is there. That's why if you have known, okay. So these are the familiar questions and patterns of the questions. So in a single paper itself, they have covered everything. In general, nowadays, what kind of questions that they are giving in JEE advanced? In paper 1, sometimes they are giving single answers and integer type, or sometimes paragraphs, or in paper 2, sometimes more than one answer, sometimes integers, section 2, and sometimes matrix section, something like that. So they are under paper 1 and paper 2, they are dividing 2 to 3 sections in paper 1 and again 2 to 3 sections in paper 2. Altogether, they are conducting the examination around this marks only, or sometimes they may reduce the number of marks only. Nobody knows for how many marks they are going to be conducting. These are the familiar facts. Everybody knows about JEE advanced examination. That is the important task here. But anyhow, in 2006, the examination was conducted for how many marks? 552. Each paper contains 184 marks. Of that, out of 552, those who got 166 out of 552, those who got 166, they got qualified and they got selection, not seat, they got selection in IIT examination. And at that time, out of 184 marks in maths, 39 marks was the cutoff mark, and 48 marks was the cutoff mark for physics, and 55 marks was the cutoff mark for chemistry. Thereby, you can easily understand that comparatively from all the 3 papers, mathematics paper was a little bit difficult. Maths paper was a little bit difficult. Next, physics, and then chemistry. So this was the trend, and that was happened in 2006, given by IIT Kharagpur. So see, the students who maintained 184 out of 39 out of 184 in mathematics, and 48 out of 184 in physics, and 55 out of 184 in chemistry, and altogether those who are maintaining 166, those for them only they got qualified in joint JEE advanced examination. So the minimum cutoff mark was percentage was 33%. So 33% of marks, if you are gaining in final examination, they got qualified. That means they may not get seat, but they are qualified in advanced examination. They will. If chances are there is a possibility even for reservation candidate. This is from general category I am talking. The same thing may happen even in 2021 advanced examination also. So from past experience, it is clearly understood that minimum 30 to 35% will be there for cutoff mark. General cutoff mark may oscillate in between 30 to 35% of marks. Even in JEE advanced 2021 examination also. Okay, now coming to 2014, that means 2014. The same institution was conducted JEE Advanced examination. Under the name of JEE Advanced, the same IIT Kharagpur was conducted. This time, again they have changed the pattern. As I said earlier, they conducted the examination under two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. And this is about paper 1, and the model of paper 1 is like this. In paper 1, there are only two sections, section 1 and section 2. Again in section 1, there are only 10 questions. And in section 2, again there are only 10 questions. And section 1, all are one or more than one answer type. Each carries 3 marks. For wrongly attempted, no negative mark, 30 marks. And second one is integer type. And here in the section 2 also there are 10 questions. And each carries 3 marks. For wrongly attempted, no negative mark, total 30. So each paper, mathematics 60, physics 60, chemistry 60, total 180 marks. They conducted the examination for 180 marks. They have conducted the examination for 180 marks in paper 1. The main important point in paper 1 was there is no negative mark. And moreover, very few number of questions are there per each subject. So altogether in 3 hours, you need to attempt 60 questions. Because in mathematics 40, physics 40, chemistry, mathematics 20, physics 20, chemistry 20, altogether you need to attempt 60 questions in 3 hours of the time. So that is about paper 1 of JEE Advanced 2014. Now coming to paper 2 of JEE Advanced 2014. Here in paper 2, they divided the entire paper into 3 sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. In section 1, straight objective questions are there. And they have given straight objective questions 10 in number. Each carries 3 marks. For wrongly attempted, -1 mark is there. Total mark was 30. Similarly, section 2 is a paragraph. And there are 6 questions there. Means, I think there are only 2 paragraphs. And each paragraph contains 3 questions. That means 6 questions are there. And each carries 3 marks. For wrongly attempted, -1. So maximum mark was 18. And third section is matrix matching. That too, which kind of matrix matching? One to many. So in column 1 and column 2, see, this is column 1 and this is column 2. Suppose A, B, C, D is there. Here P, Q, R, S, T is there. For A, options may be either P, Q, R also. So multiple matching is there. Multiple matching type of matrix matching is given. In the first time they have introduced in 2014, given by IIT Kharagpur. So my friends, see the difference between 2014 paper 1 and paper 2. Again in paper 2 also, they conducted the examination maths for 60 marks, physics 60 marks, and chemistry 60 marks. So altogether paper 2, they conducted for 180 marks. Paper 1 again they conducted for 180 marks. So altogether they conducted the examination for 360 marks. 360 marks. The important point here is there is no negative mark in paper 1, whereas at each and every section there is a negative mark in the paper 2. But relatively paper 2 was easy when compared with paper 1 at this time. But majority of the students, they lost marks due to the negative marks. They have underestimated, and that's why, though they attempted well, but they have not solved the problems completely, full-fledgedly. That's why they lost very good number of marks because of negative marks. So the same situation, by keeping these two, 2006 paper as well as a 2014 paper in your mind, you will get an idea that, okay, even in 2021 also, they may concentrate on 3 areas. One is what? One or more than one answer type questions. Second one is what? Numerical value or integer value type questions. First one is one or more than one. One or more than one. One. And second one is numerical or integer type. And third one is next, matrix matching or paragraph. Matrix matching or paragraph. But anyhow, my friends, If you are familiar with one or more than one answer type and numerical or integer type of questions thoroughly, if you are been exposing to solve that kind of problems confidently, then there is a chance of getting very good rank in coming JEE Advanced 2021, because that is the hotbed for majority of the students. Whenever you are familiar, get familiarity in solving confidently the one or more than one answer type of questions without looking the final answers. If you are completely judgifying, you are judging the exact answers in the for each and every questions, then only you will get confidence. That confidence gives very good marks and very good rank in final advanced examination. And of course, my friends, in 2014, the cutoff marks was like this. So those who got 130 marks out of 360, that is 36%, they got qualified in a general category. For OBC, it is around 32%, that is 115 marks out of 360. For SC, it was 65, and for ST, it was 65, that is 18% of marks. That's why what I told, those who are maintaining 30 to 35 percentage of the marks, the same thing may happen even for JEE Advanced 2021 also. JEE Advanced 2020, that was the minimum basic cutoff mark. If you are maintaining more than 35% of the marks in a final examination, I am giving complete assurance that you should qualify in JEE Advanced examination. But for how many marks, what kind of ranks that you will get it, that depends upon the paper standard and the competition. That later we will discuss it. Don't worry. So my friends, again the most important point is, if I have gone through, I have studied 2006 paper as well as 2014 paper, and based on the knowledge of the questions, I have categorized the types of the questions like this. I have divided the entire questions into 5 to 7 forms. What are those 5 to 7 forms? Number one is a thought-oriented form. That is, I am mentioning that as with the T. T means thought-oriented questions. This means the success requires a certain key idea which will come only with a correct line of thinking. So, while reading the question itself, immediately if you are getting a flash idea and if your line of thinking is in right way, then only you will get the answer. That kind of questions are called thought-oriented questions, that I mentioned it as T. Second one is computational. Second one is what? Computational. That means what? It requires an amount of computation. That means calculation part will be there. And this is the dangerous part also. This is the dangerous part, and it plays very good role. Because the majority of the students, though they are good at subject, but they're failing to get the accurate answer in the final. That's why they are losing the marks. That is also one of the reasons. If we are taking interviews and if you are interacting with the students or toppers, they are simply saying, that's how we know everything. Concepts point of view and subject point of view, we know everything. But the only point is we have done, or we are taking, or we are doing silly mistakes. But my friends, mistake is a mistake. There is no grades in the mistakes because it is an objective examination. If it is the descriptive examination, the story would be different. Whereas in objective examination, accuracy plays very good role. As long as you are getting the correct answer on the paper, then only you will get the marks. Otherwise, all that work, time, everything going to be waste from your side, your end. And third oriented question is sneaky approach, that I am represented with yes, sneaky approach questions. This means that there is an inefficient but wrong way to get the right answer. Sometimes it is attacking the problem with a direct method or some other traditional method, it won't work. You can solve by substituting some things, by taking the counter examples or something like that, without any reasoning also. That kind of questions are called sneaky approach oriented questions. And there is no reasoning. Why are you solving the problem like this? Nobody can give any correct exact reply. That kind of questions are called what? Sneaky approached questions. Okay, that means there is an efficient but wrong way to get the right answer, or a part of it which gets rewarded because the candidate does not have to show the reasoning. That is why that kind of questions are called sneaky approach questions. And the next one is improper question. This means the statement of the problem itself not gives complete clarity. That means some ambiguity is there in the statement. Due to that redundancy in the question and ambiguity, sometimes in general we may get confusion, and due to that we are solving the problem in with irrelevant steps, and sometimes we do mistakes also. That kind of improper questions. I stands for improper. This means there is some impropriety, such as some ambiguity or redundancy or poor notation or clumsiness in the statement of the problem. Due to that, we are doing the mistakes. Next one is unscrupulous questions. Unscrupulous questions. This is very, very important. This means that during, even or after getting the correct answer, though you are getting the answer, but sometimes and from the entire problem, we may not use all the data given in the entire problem, but we may get the answer. So that kind of unnecessary additional information is also given in the problem, but for getting the answer, we are not using the entire data given in the question. So this means that during or even after getting the correct answer, some additional justification will have to be given to complete the solution. Scrupulously, had the same problem been asked in conventional type of examination. Okay, so this kind of questions are very, very dangerous one. Why I have categorized these questions, because you will get an idea. And F stands for familiar problem. This means substantially similar problems has been asked in the past. So if you have observed the previous JEE old papers, the same method problems, same conceptual application problems, that kind of familiar problems they are asking. That kind of problems are called familiar problems. And R is repetitious problem. This means the work needed overlaps considered. The same type of step. Suppose they are asking some tangent in circle. The same question they may ask the tangent in hyperbola, or the same question find the equation of the tangent in some other curve. So same type of model that may ask in the same problem, in the same paper itself. That kind of questions are called repetitious problems. So if we have divided the entire categories of the questions into this form, thereby you will understand that, okay, in 2020, in 2014 and in 2006, under which concepts they have given which type of questions, that here in the form of a table I have given, very good elaborate. It is a systematic scientific information I am giving it for you. But my friends, please don't check the description. There I am giving the corresponding data also for you. You can download those things, that you will get complete solutions and total analysis of 2006 as well as 2014 JEE, IIT JEE as well as JEE advanced papers also. Here the outline only I am giving. Actually in algebra, actually in mathematics is concerned, both if you are concentrating on 2014 and 2006, for IIT Kharagpur people, they are concentrating on only two areas. They are giving first priority to calculus, and second priority to algebra. This is first priority and this is second priority. So majority of the questions they have asked from calculus, and then next priority goes to algebra, and later they are concentrating on the coordinate geometry and the trigonometry part, etc. etc. That too in algebra, they mainly focused on questions from permutations and combinations, probability, matrices, determinants, and linear equations. And of course, complex numbers. These four chapters play very good role. In 2006 as well as 2014. So better, my suggestion would be, you please master these topics, especially in algebra. Each and every concept also very, very important. And moreover, if from permutations and combinations and probability, the questions are in the form of TCS model. What is the T and what is the C and what is S? All the things that I have mentioned here. What is the T? That is what? Thought-oriented questions and computational questions and sneaky approached questions. So majority of the questions they have given in form of what? Thought-oriented and computational and sneaky. The same questions were repeated even in probability and even in matrices also. And of course, sometimes that familiarity will be there. So here I have divided the type of questions and the background of the each and every question given in that particular topic with that notations also. Please go through this table very carefully. Thereby you will understand, okay, which type of questions I need to practice. Even in my regular preparation also, you will get an idea. So please don't neglect to solve or concentrate on what? In algebra, algebra plays very good role. Of that, you first give priority to permutations and combinations, probability, next matrices, next complex numbers, and later progressions and quadratic equations and expressions. Instead of asking direct questions from progressions and quadratic equations and expressions, they may give several applications with this. Several applications. Application oriented problem means quadratic applications in complex numbers and quadratic applications in matrices, and similarly progression applications in permutations and combinations as well as in complex numbers, something like that. Something like that. That kind of questions that we will expect from algebra only. And coming to calculus, actually in calculus, of course in 2006 and 2014, as I said earlier, first they have given first priority to what? Calculus. Of that, you need to focus more on what? Theoretical calculus, which is from FLCD, functions, limits, continuity, differentiability. See, they have given several questions. Majority of the questions they repeated. After that, definite integration. They have given very good importance for definite integration. First priority goes to functions, limits, continuity, differentiation, theory as well as direct problems. And next priority goes to definite integration. So first you give priority to this one, and second you give priority to this one, and third you give priority to the applications of derivatives and maximum minimum. Applications of derivatives and maximum minimum. And later you give priority to differential equations and areas of curves or whatever. And here also I have mentioned very clearly what kind of questions that they have asked from functions, limits, continuity, and differentiation. What kind of questions they have asked from functions, limits, and continuity? TCS and U questions also. And even see that U type of question, U means unscrupulous. That means that kind of questions they have asked, especially you will identify in FLCD as well as in the differential equations. So these are the most important topics. So in calculus, please don't neglect functions, limits, continuity, and differentiability, all theoretical questions, then applications of derivatives, then give maximum priority to what? Definite integrations, and of course later differential equations and areas of curves. Okay, these are the most important areas. That means in first year calculus, functions, limits, continuity play very good roles, whereas in secondary calculus, total secondary calculus is very, very important. Of the definite integration, applications of definite integrations are very, very important. All the inequality based questions in a definite integration as well as in calculus, or wherever, whatever it may be the section is, you please try to solve all inequality oriented type of problems and applications of monotonic functions in differential equations, applications of monotonic concepts. Monotonicity means increasing and decreasing concepts in definite integration problems you need to practice. And coming to coordinate geometry, this is very, very important. Of course, they are giving less priority to coordinate geometry. After that also, from IIT Kharagpur papers, they have given very good priority to the parabola. Very good priority to the parabola. And the questions from parabola or TCS, they are not thought-provoking. They are computational problem and sneaky approach to problem, and improper questions also they have given. And the majority of the questions they are asking about the triangles and straight line versus triangles. Different type of triangles, orthocenters, incenters, and their relations, and square properties, basic triangle properties. All basic triangular properties are very, very important. And circle versus triangle. That means circle inscribed in the triangle, triangle inscribed in the circle, areas of circle versus triangular, circumcircle, circumradius. That kind of questions in coordinate geometry, they are also very, very important. You need to practice. So if you are solving the problems if you are concentrating on what is called coordinate geometry, first you give priority to what? All triangle properties, and applications of the triangle concepts and circle versus a triangle, parabola versus a triangle, all that kind of interrelated problems only you need to focus. Instead of asking direct questions or interrelated with the triangle versus circle problem, circle inscribed in the triangle, triangle inscribed in the circle, intersect of the circle versus triangle, or something like that. That kind of mixed oriented problems you need to practice. And coming to vectors and 3D, there they have asked very good questions on properties of vectors, thereby angle, concept of angles, I mean angle between the two vectors and projections, they are asking, and volumes and vector equation, standard vector equation, familiar questions will be there. Even in lines and planes also, they have straight away given very good questions, but they are what? Little bit computational questions and thought-provoking questions. So majority of the questions are sneaky and computational oriented questions they have asked in planes and lines. So after in vector algebra and three-dimensional geometry, you need to solve all vector equations and you need to concentrate all the section property and projection property and angle property and applications of those things in the vectors and planes, just standard concepts of planes and lines. Very simple questions. Of course, my friends, in trigonometry, they are concentrating mainly on two areas. One is properties of triangles. In 2006 as well as in 2014, majority of the questions they came under properties of triangles. All the properties, in center, circumcenter, eccentre of triangle versus circle, everything you need to practice, both in the form of trigonometry versus coordinate geometry. After that, you give priority to maxima and minima of trigonometric functions and their inequalities. This is very, very important. Directly or indirectly, they may ask the questions from this area. That maximum, minimum of some trigonometric functions, different kinds of trigonometric functions, inequalities based questions, they will ask, especially this. So, as a part, you separately concentrate on all inequality oriented type questions, because that is the major important area for them. And of course, if time they then concentrate for trigonometric equations, they have asked very simple questions, but it takes time to solve. They are lengthy questions. That's why they are TCS form questions. That means start thinking oriented questions and computational problems and sneaky oriented problem. Okay, my friends. So this is about what entire mathematics questions and the topics that they have concentrated in 2006 and 2014. So based on this, you will get an idea that, okay, in our preparation also, whether I have completed the parts that I have mentioned on the screen are thoroughly or not. You please check them. So in algebra, which topics I need to first master. And once after completion of the things, you need to practice all previous year papers. Solve all 40 years of old papers. Thereby you will understand the style of the questions. After that, you will get understand that, okay, what kind of questions that they are giving. Whether it requires a computational or sneaky approach or unscrupulous questions or what kind of familiar questions or what. You will justify that. You will understand the nature of the question. Thereby, you will change your orientation and procedure also. And effort, that is about mathematics. Now coming to about physics, my friends, in mechanics, they mainly concentrated on motion in line and plane. And even here also I have given very clearly in 2006 and 2014, first they have given priority to mechanical properties of fluids and matter. That is very, very important. First they given very good priority to this particular part. It is very easy. That is second part of the mechanics we called it as. That means fluid mechanics and fluid dynamics, complete them. And rotational motion, second one is rotational motion. This is first priority, this one. Second priority is this one. And third priority is work, power, and energy. And fourth priority is what? Motion in a line and a plane. And of course, gravitation. And of course, this is very, very important. Don't neglect and don't forget. Which one? Units and measurements. Units and measurements. This is also very, very important topic. After that, if time is there, you concentrate on the gravitation, because there are some interlinked questions you may expect in gravitation in electricity part also. And of course, my friends, in physics, just like in mathematics, first they are giving priority to what? Calculus, after that algebra, like that. In physics, they are giving first priority to the electricity, and after that, mechanics. In mechanics, they have concentrated on that part. In electricity, they are giving more and important questions in electric charges and field, current electricity, electric potential and capacitors, moving charges of and magnetism. They are giving least priority to alternative current. But you need to solve because it is very easy topic, and moreover everybody solve this problem. And even in this one also, majority of the questions are in form of what, TCS only. That means thought oriented. By immediately after looking the question itself, if anybody gets idea, then only can solve. Otherwise, they will waste the time. And if any problem is there, it takes time to solve those things. And very good problems and familiar questions based on the single concept also several times. The previous examination questions are also repeated. But only thing is, but very good questions we can expect in electricity chapter. So these are the particular topics one should practice, one should master in physics point of view. Now coming to remaining topics, and after mechanics part and electricity part, they are giving next priority to ray optics and wave optics. This is very very important in modern physics. So my suggestion would be, you first concentrate, you master, for slow learner students I am talking about it, mechanical properties of fluids and matters, units and measurements, and ray optics, wave optics, modern physics, and total electricity part. These 4 or 5 parts are very very important in physics. That's sufficient. If time is there, then only concentrate other parts like thermodynamics, oscillations, and of course some gravitation and other rotational motion or work power energy, something like that. Because after mechanics and electricity, they are giving very good priority to what, ray optics and wave optics and modern physics only. They are giving importance to ray optics and wave optics and modern physics only. That is about what, physics. Now coming to chemistry. In chemistry, in organic chemistry, first they are giving priority to general organic chemistry, that is GOC. Second one is they are giving at the most priority to carbon compounds containing nitrogen and oxygen. Carbon compounds containing nitrogen and oxygen in organic chemistry. Okay. And after that, alcohols, phenols, and ethers. And after that, carbonyl compounds. They are giving priority to this one. Because 2 to 3 questions they asked sometimes in 2000. Because entire paragraph or entire matching, they completely constructed on this particular area only. That's why on paper it appears like 2 to 3 questions under the same concept itself. That's why you need to master all these particular areas, especially in organic chemistry. And coming to physical chemistry, actually they are giving first priority to what, stoichiometry, and of course thermodynamics. And if you are doing well in thermodynamics, it saves time in physics also, because both the way it is useful for you. After that, electrochemistry and qualitative analysis, they are giving priority to the qualitative analysis. First you give priority to this one, next solutions, qualitative properties or solutions. They are giving maximum number of questions, especially in physical chemistry, on these particular topics. Okay, which one? Stoichiometry, thermodynamics, and solutions, or qualitative properties, electrochemistry, and qualitative analysis. Now coming to inorganic chemistry, there in inorganic chemistry, they mainly concentrated on the 3 topics, which is chemical bonding, next SPDF block elements, and coordination compounds. From these 3 areas only, several times they have asked very good questions, very important questions. So please don't neglect and don't forget, and solving each and every problem from these 3 areas. But finally, the judgment is like this. Overall, majority of the students in 2014, they faced the difficulty levels like this. For mathematics is concerned, the question paper was moderate to difficult. Moderate to difficult. Few questions are quite lengthy. And coming to physics, physics was lengthy, and some more calculation based questions are there. As I mentioned, the categories of the questions. Similarly, in chemistry, it is slightly difficult or above average, and questions asked from organic chemistry were complex than physical and inorganic. So IIT Kharagpur people mainly concentrating on the organic chemistry. First they give priority to the organic chemistry, later they give priority to the physical chemistry. But the questions given in organic chemistry are difficult. But the number of questions given in physical chemistry are more when compared with organic chemistry. Later they concentrated the inorganic chemistry. They have not given equal priority to all the 3 areas. That is one important discussion. One important point here we have to observe. So my friends, again I am repeating, please while watching this video, please don't forget to check the description. Please check the description. There I am providing the detailed analysis in the form of PDF format also. You will download the link, and don't forget to share and subscribe Uma Shankar YouTube channel and press bell icon for notifications. Finally, what I am going to say is JEE Advanced is not end for your life. End for your life. If you work hard, efforts never die. If you work hard, efforts never die. So, in your preparation, always apply this particular strategy or called principle, which is a TTT principle. That is, first T indicates trace your areas of weaknesses. Second T implies thorough them with more mock tests. And third T implies transform them into result. If you are following this 3T principle, there you will get 100% of the success in your regular preparation. The coming 2 months are sufficient, more than sufficient. Only thing is, you need to brush up all them. And you need to get familiarity and get confidence on these topics. By applying this TTT principle, you will get complete knowledge. And my friends, if you just go through this table, here I have given in 2014 cut-off marks given by IIT Kharagpur as well as the examination conducted in 2020. Of course, 2020, the examination was conducted by IIT Delhi only. Here it is what? IIT Kharagpur. This is for Kharagpur, this is for IIT Delhi. And of course, the cut-off marks was like this. For below 10, those who are maintaining more than 81.9% in 2020, and below 100, those who are maintaining 71%, that means out of 396, they conducted in 2020 the examination on for 396 marks. And those who maintained 321 and above, out of 396, they maintained below 10, and 281 and above, they maintained below 100, and 210 and above, they maintained below 1000, 184 and above, below 2000, 168 and above, below 3000, 156 and above, below 4000, 147 and above, below 5000, and of course 139 and above, below 6000, 133 and above, 7000, 127 and above, 8000, 122 and above, 9000, 118 and above, 10,000. This is about what 2020 JEE Advanced cut-off marks. Coming to 2014 JEE Advanced by IIT Kharagpur, out of 360, those who maintained 313, that means 86.9% and above. So out of 360, 313, they maintained below 10. 278 out of 360, that means 77.2%. That means below 100. Below 1000, 62 points. See the percentage of marks compared with 2014 as well as 2020. Try to understand the difference between cut-off marks from 2020 to 2000. It all happened because of the standards and difficulty of the papers. So, with the help of this information, okay, how many marks do we require? Because if you are aiming to get a rank below 1000, you need to get more than 65% of the marks. As long as in your regular tests, if you are maintaining more than 65% of the marks, there is a chance for you to get below 1000 rank in final examination. In final examination, of course, in final examination, the cutoff mark may be less than the marks that I have just mentioned. But if you are maintaining more than 65% of the marks, definitely there is a chance of getting a rank below 1000. And if there is a possibility of getting more than 50% of marks, then if there is a chance of getting a rank below 5000, and if anybody is maintaining more than 40% of the marks, there is a possibility of getting a rank below 10,000. But for qualifying, it is around 30 to 35% only. So here, with my experience, I'm suggesting one of the important technique in preparation. This strategy is a Japanese strategy or a Japanese technique. Actually, a Japanese scientist has discovered this important model. This is called Pomodoro technique. Based on this technique, we can, if you practiced this technique, then you with this kind of technique you will get complete command on the time management. Once if you are getting command on the time management skills, you can learn the subject and you can utilize the time properly in your preparation also. It's a great technique to help the students break down their study material into linearable sections. As it is 25 minutes, we tend to accept that at a small commitment. The gaps in between given time to our brain to process the perceive the information and also retain it better. So actually, because with this technique, if you are thoroughly following this technique, you will get wonderful result. This technique contains 5 steps. Only thing is, actually prepare 1 hour, continuously studying 1 hour is different. But how to utilize that complete 1 hour in your regular preparation with help of this technique, if you are following all these steps very carefully, then you will get confidence in your preparation also. After that, what to do? This is the 5-step technique. This is called, as what I said, what is this method? This is Pomodoro method. In this Pomodoro method, there are what? How many steps? 5 steps. First step is what? Figure out the task to do. What I am going to prepare now? Maths or physics or chemistry. Okay. Now I am going to prepare mathematics. So what to do? Step number 2, you set your timer. Take your mobile phone and switch off all your notifications, sounds and everything. Just you open the timer and you adjust the timer to 25 minutes. And for that mathematics, in 25 minutes, what you are going to solve? Okay, I am going to concentrate on this particular area in mathematics. For that, what do you require? White papers, pen, paper, and required material, question papers, all that information you put, you keep everything with you without wasting your time. And you allotted what? 25 minutes running time. So work completely without any deviation and all, without getting distracted by any other things and all. You just focus just 25 minutes. Because in that small interval of time, if anybody is focusing more, that is sufficient. Your brain works like anything. So work hard, work only on your task. Yes, just concentrating on 25 minutes. What things that you are going to prepare, you master them. And step number 4, immediately after 25 minutes, automatically your time will timer will bell will ring and ring. Then immediately you take a 5 minutes break. Again after 5 minutes, you take rest. You take breathe and you do small exercise and eat something or drink something just in 5 minutes only. And again sit and set the timer for again another 25 minutes and again concentrate another subject or same subject or continue the same subject for another next 25 minutes. Like that, you continue the 4 cycles. After 4 cycles, then you take a long break of 15 to 30 minutes. In that duration, you take some necessary exercises and walk and move that place or this place. And you just do practice like this. Within 1 week, you do wonders in your regular preparation also. Because I myself, I have implemented this Pomodoro technique and I got maximum benefit with this kind of technique. Thereby, I will understand how to utilize 1 hour time properly. So my friends, hope you will understand all these techniques and wish you all the best for coming JEE examination. Hope you try to understand what kind of question papers that they are giving in 2006 and 2014, the standards and which papers that we have to, which topics in maths, physics and chemistry we need to focus. So it is a brief information. So if you are get familiarity with all these things, at least we can expect, okay, the same IIT Kharagpur is going to give the paper in 2021. So they may focus these particular areas. Whether I am really completed or not, you properly check it. Then your preparation, 50% of your preparation will be completed. So with that, you will get confidence and you will gain very good marks and rank also. My friends, wish you all the best and If you like this video, please don't forget to check the description, and please share and press the bell icon. Thereby you will get the notifications. Thank you once again. Wish you all the best. Thank you.